Welcome back to American Agenda. Former President Trump campaigning in Arizona. He drew his typical crowd of thousands to his town hall event in Phoenix. But the Democratic National Committee attempting to rain on Trump's parade and capitalize on his conviction by putting up this billboard outside the event, calling him a convicted felon and he is unfit to serve. But you know what? Doesn't really matter because Trump still leads by 5 points in the polls in the Grand Canyon state.
He's doing better post-conviction. Let's bring in someone who was at the event last night, Republican Senate candidate, an ally of the former president, Donald Trump. Kari Lake. Kari, good to see you.
Oh, good to see you. What an event yesterday. So much energy in that room and new faces, people who are just jumping into the America First movement, realizing that things are bad and America First is the way to solve these problems. It was great.
What are you seeing post-conviction? A heightened level of energy? Look, the MAGA movement, it was always big. It was always intense. I think it's grown exponentially since last week.
It's huge. It's been growing steadily since 2020. And, you know, I just got back from crisscrossing northern Arizona from the border with New Mexico all the way to the border with Nevada. We were in probably 8 different towns, and everywhere we went, the crowds were enormous, people spilling out into the parking lot. And I'm not saying that to be boastful. I'm saying that because the people in this state, I'm speaking from Arizona's perspective, are awake and they realize that just showing up to vote isn't enough now. We have to get involved and we have to get out there, register friends to vote, make sure people are making a plan to vote, and get 10 friends to vow to vote for Donald Trump and, frankly, for me in this state so that we can get a positive America First Senate as well.
Kari, I want to switch to the border. We know that President Biden enacted executive orders on the border this week, but even his former press secretary, Jen Psaki, admitting that it was purely a political move. Watch.
They knew, I think, as soon as that deal fell apart, which, just to reiterate what Chris Matthews was saying, was because Donald Trump called Mike Johnson and said, kill the deal. And Mike Johnson said, yes, sir, I will kill the deal. That's why it happened. It was a deal that was so conservative and Democrats gave so much on that many Republicans were saying, wow, I can't believe we got all of these things. And a lot of Democrats were mad about it. It's a political vulnerability for the president and his campaign. They know that. They knew they would have to do something like an executive order before the election politically as well. And that's what we're seeing play out.
We're seeing a political move by the Biden administration play out that is destroying this country. Your reaction?
Oh, I mean, everything he does is political. I do agree it's a political move, but it's to try to save his own skin in this, because he knows that the people of this country recognize that this wide open border has been disastrous in every way you look at it, from the crime soaring on our streets. I mean, we just had in New York City a migrant who attacked a police officer. This is happening every day. Look at Laken Riley. Her life was taken by somebody who shouldn't have even been here. And now Joe Biden's trying to fluff the pillows on the Titanic that he's created. And we are not going to see any relief from what Joe Biden just did, because it's just a ruse to make it look like he's doing something. We still have a wide open border. People are continuing to pour in. And guess what? The hardworking people of this country are footing the bill. We just got the jobs numbers today. And we lost a huge number of jobs. I think it was 600,000 jobs were lost. American-born workers lost that many jobs. All of the job gains, 400,000+, went to foreign-born workers, went to people pouring illegally into our country. They are getting the jobs. American citizens are losing the jobs, and American citizens are footing the bill and having to compete for services with these people here illegally, having to compete for housing with these people who are here illegally. And so Joe Biden knows he has to do something. This is just like putting lipstick on a pig. And it's not going to work out because the people still see the problem right there in their face. Another huge fentanyl bust, another bad jobs report, and people still can't make ends meet. And now they're losing their jobs on top of it. And it all stems to that border crisis.
Kari, there's some studies, I did a report on this a couple of weeks ago, that say, this was on Capitol Hill, that maybe $400 billion because of the migrant crisis. That American taxpayers, we're going to be on the hook for that. And I just want to remind our viewers, Americans, that we didn't have this problem under former President Trump. This is a new bill that our country has. Obviously, we got to pay our bills. There's our reoccurring bills we have to pay, but this is a new one. $400 billion. It could be reinvested for us, schools for kids, infrastructure, bridges, you name it, but it's not, and it is because of what Joe Biden has done with immigration.
That's right. And it's just making things so much harder for American families who are already struggling right now, whether they're struggling to just put groceries and put food on the table, whether mom or dad or somebody in the family has lost a job now and now they're having a hard time finding one, whether they're struggling to pay their rent and watching rent prices shoot up because they're now competing with 12, 15 million people who are here, who are trying to get housing as well. It's just a disaster. And Joe Biden created this. He could solve it today if he wanted to, not with this executive order, but by putting President Trump's policies right back in play and the way they were. We had a secure border with President Trump, and now we don't. And Joe Biden is just, he's just a train wreck. Any way you slice it, he's a train wreck.
Kari,
and the people know it.
I think Americans are actually seeing it all clearly. I do want to get your thoughts on this. Hillary Clinton could not let an event go to waste to lambast the GOP. Here's what she posted yesterday on X to commemorate the 80th anniversary of the invasion of Normandy. She said 80 years ago, thousands of brave Americans fought to protect democracy on the shores of Normandy. This November, all we have to do is vote. That is one of the most disrespectful tweets or X posts, whatever we call it these days, that I have ever heard. To me, that is disrespecting our veterans and their families. Your reaction?
Well, I think about those brave men who died on that beach and the brave men, the greatest generation, and what they fought for so that we would have our freedoms, our Constitution intact to save this world, frankly. And everything that has happened over the past 3 years has just cut into all of our Bill of Rights, our freedoms, the freedoms that those men died for. And so I think that when we go to vote, we're going to have to remember what was on the line 80 years ago. What were those men fighting for, and how we're losing so much of what they fought for right now. And I hope people will remember that. They fought for our rights. They fought for our freedom. They fought for our future. And, you know, Hillary Clinton, nothing surprises me with Hillary Clinton, but I think what we should be remembering is those men and what they truly fought for. And that's what's on the line right now. We want our freedoms intact. And frankly, I want them intact for everyone. I want my freedom of speech intact that those men fought for myself, for people like Hillary Clinton, for people who are liberal, conservative. Right now, though, we're watching as this entire government's weaponized against just one ideology, the conservative ideology, and it's darn right scary. I don't even feel like I'm in America anymore with the way things are going.
Yeah, some days it really doesn't look or feel like the America that we all want it to be. And again, those men, those brave men, made the ultimate sacrifice for. Kari Lake, we really appreciate your insight. Thanks so much.